Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. I'm David.
I'm Charlie. Well, I'm the
Not
praying
tonight.
mantis boxing champion is who I am.
We'll get behind that story here in a little bit. Welcome, guys. Tonight we're going to be talking about some paranormal news stories. We're going to have some discussions about some things.
Yeah.
And we've got a surprise guest who's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes. But first, we got to get to the bottom of this praying mantis boxing champion.
All right, so
Charles, you
for
had a
those
weekend.
of you, for those that don't know, I had a full-on weekend. Went down to Branson with my brother. It was a great time. We went to Silver Dollar City, rode some go-karts, rode some mountain coasters, went down to the landing, bought some booze. It was a great time. It was actually so cool that our little Airbnb that we were staying at was just down the road from a outside bar called, I think it's Area 71 is what it's called. And they have an outside venue where we could hear those people playing all the way to our Airbnb. So we just stayed outside, put up a fire. It was nice. But the most important part of this. So I decided I'm going to go inside, go grab some stuff for the fire. You know, hot dogs, sausages, all that jazz. So I get up on the deck. And I'm looking at the door, and I see a praying mantis on the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is sweet. Come check out this praying mantis, told my brother. All of a sudden, this praying mantis notices me, and it just it turns around and it's like looking at me, just staring at me, right? Like from the door. So I'm just like, oh, that's dope. And he's seeing this as it's happening too. And so I'm just like, what the heck? So this praying mantis drops down from the door. So it's now standing pretty much in front of me, in front of the door. So it's in my path, right? Its arms go up like this, like it's squaring up. And I'm just like, what is happening? So I decided to take a couple of steps back. Just like, is this me or is this just like something he's doing? When I took a couple steps back, what?
Like, I know Kung Fu.
Right. That's the thing. So I took a couple steps back. And then I go, move left, move right. And my brother's watching the entire thing. We literally see the praying mantis just go with my movements. Like, it's just fully looking at me, and I'm like, oh, God, it's about to attack or something.
It's going down.
And then all of a sudden, thing leaps at me, comes flying at me, right? It bounces off me, and it goes, and it hits, it basically goes to the window, which is right next to where I'm standing. And then it starts to crawl up the window, and I'm thinking oh my God, is it trying to take a higher advantage and trying to come at me or something? Like, what's happening? So it's crawling up the thing, and then it stops on the top of the window, and then just looks at me again, and I'm just like, what in the world? This thing is super aware that I'm there, right? So after it gets done looking at me, it crawls all the way to the freaking ceiling of the patio. And jumps off at me, and I take my hat and go, what? And I try to go as fast as I can. And I'm pretty sure I made contact with it. And for a second there, I was like, where the heck did it go? Where'd it go? And it's on the side railing where you just walk in to where the deck is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw it. I'm going to go get my stuff. I'm going to come back outside. So I go inside, grab all the stuff that I need. I come out. It's gone. I don't know where the praying mantis is. So this thing comes at me twice. What the heck? So, come outside, right? It's not there. I go sit down on the bench, and I've just got both my legs over the bench, and I'm just looking down at my phone. And then I just have this feeling to just look up. This freaking praying mantis is sitting literally right in front of me, just staring at me. And I'm like, oh my God, I could have been assassinated. It could have taken me out. So I'm at first, my initial reaction is like, oh my gosh. And my brother's like, what? What's the matter? I'm like, the praying mantis is right in front of me. It's just sitting there. And he's just like, no way, and like looks over, he sees it. I just get off the bench immediately. I'm like, I'm not gonna die by a freaking praying mantis today. So he all of a sudden gets off too, and then I see the praying mantis kind of like he hits the bench and it like vibrates the praying mantis off, but it also flies off at the same time, and it flew in the direction of the fire. So I don't know if it killed itself or it just went somewhere else and stopped messing with me. I don't know, but either way, it disappeared. Yeah, literally. It's like, I could have killed you, but bye. Like, I could have taken you out, bye. Like, you didn't know I was sitting. And it had been like a good, like 2 or 3 minutes. And I didn't see anything fly, like, in or out. Like, it was just there.
It's the Michael Myers of praying mantis.
Man, it was dedicated. It was fully dedicated to taking me out. So that's my praying mantis story that I'm going to have for the rest of my life.
Hey, that's what vacations are for. They're for the story.
Like I told you, I would have never had it on my bucket list to get into a fight with a praying mantis while camping. So, check mark.
The important thing is,
it is.
You guys tied. He got you. You got him.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he could have got me. He didn't bite me at all.
The first time.
No, he didn't bite me. He
not
bounced off
you.
of me. Oh, he got me. I definitely felt that he bounced off me.
Did a drop kick, and then he jumped up onto the top ropes, came down, but you were like, I'm aware, and then
and just like deflected with my deflect with my hat, and it was perfect. So that's my praying mantis story.
Beautiful.
That's why I'm the praying mantis boxing champion, because I don't know who else has boxed against a praying mantis and didn't have a scar from it. So
cha-ching.
But full disclosure, praying mantises do not sting; they just bite. So they don't really. They can hurt, but it's not a like serious danger. Yeah, exactly. The little talons in there. Yeah, exactly. But
like the predator, almost like done.
Right. But it was a great weekend, man. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, too short. It was just 3 days, right? Drive down, enjoy one day, drive back the next day. But it's
go-karts, man.
It was so much fun. Yeah, my arms are so sore. Yeah. We're gonna have to make that happen. We did the fast track, the extreme go-karts, right? And it's the ones where before they made us wear helmets, but now we didn't have to wear helmets. I don't know why, but
you just weren't worried about you.
Well, then and then they were like, before they did like, okay, we're gonna do a slow race the first race, and then a fast race from then on if you've done it. And I'm just like, okay, that seems dumb. But then this time it was just like, it was full bore. Like,
oh, okay,
we were going, but I got one of the slow cars. So
no, that sucks. This is always rigged. It's always rigged.
It always is. It really feels like it. Well, that's the thing is there was this guy that we didn't know. He got the fast car like every single time. And I got the same car both times. Oh no, he definitely does. He's from that area, and
of course.
My brother and I. He was just like, "Oh, I got the fast car." Yeah, exactly. So it was just like he knew which one to get, and he was just lapping us all. And I mean, you son of a. Anyways, but it was still a lot of fun. I had a blast. The mountain coasters thing, I definitely recommend. If you're afraid of roller coasters, they have these things called mountain coasters where you control the speed of it 100%. You're just strapped into a car, and there's railing basically going down like a track going down the side of the mountain. It's really not that scary. It's a lot of fun. I would prefer those over roller coasters personally, but
yeah, I was reminded of a roller coaster story earlier this last week about the I think it was the Six Flags where some chick accidentally, a kid got decapitated at a Six Flags. I guess wind blew his hat off and it went over the fence, and he made this wise decision that he was going to climb the fence. Climbed it, got his hat, put his hat on, and nature took course, and the roller coaster came. But what was messed up was there's one of those kind that you hang down on, and some girl, how he got decapitated was this girl was in the front, and her leg decapitated him. Her leg shattered. So now she has this story like, I kicked a dude's head off.
Literally.
Yeah. So that happened.
That's nuts.
Natural selection,
dude, I swear. That's
use a strong to take out the weak.
Batman?
Yes, it was a Batman ride. Yes. But yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
Imagine living with that in our conscience.
Like,
oh my God, your roller coasters are so fun. You remember that time? you like kicked that dude's head off.
The question is, did she feel pain?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
No, God, Cassie's drunk.
That's one hell of a Halloween story, that's for sure. It'd be funny as heck. Not really. But no, that's horrible. I would hate for anything like that to happen at an amusement park. Just
That's messed up. That's why like roller coasters to me, I have no care to get on a roller coaster. I just don't. Because I've seen when you're a kid you see like bad things happen. Like I used to watch the Faces of Death movies when I was a kid. So like I've seen a lot of bad stuff happen and I don't do certain things because I've seen this crap.
1,000 Ways to Die.
That too. You know,
no thanks.
You know, living on the Mississippi, I've had like my parents, my uncles, family members telling me about catching these monster catfish out on the Mississippi. And like, I think of like swimming in lakes or something and having one just grab you and just pull you under.
Bye. Thanks for playing.
So I don't swim in lakes. So
yeah, no.
Ocean? Hell no.
Well, that'll do. You know what? Actually, I can't. I'm not afraid to. I like all that stuff. I grew up with that stuff, so it doesn't bother me.
I'm just gonna say my drink tastes really good, but it smells like a Band-Aid. Is that weird? It's pretty weird, right?
I don't know how to respond to that, so we're just gonna accept it. And
you've never opened a box of Band-Aids?
No, I just never cared to sniff a box of Band-Aids.
That medical supply smell, like that's what.
Hey guys, want to go sniff a box of Band-Aids? Like,
I mean, it's worse things you could be sniffing.
It's true. That's a good point.
Speaking of sniffing, guys, you should hit up.
One hell of a segue there, Dave. That was great.
All right, that's good. I had nothing else. Head over to the Haunting History store, hauntinghistory.threadless.com. Get you some merch, help support the show. You can get your badass Boogeyman Radio T-shirt like this. Yeah, see, it's got the Boogeyman Radio with Bigfoot being abducted by aliens. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Get you that shirt. You can pose for it like Cassie did and Terry Mosby. Again, hauntinghistory.threadless.com. Get your shirt. Send us a picture if you buy a shirt, and we will show it on the air. We'll give you a shout out on Facebook and all that good jazz. Surprised I didn't say jizz.
Whoa. Now you did.
Now I did. How's that make you feel? Expected.
From you, I'm just not surprised anymore.
Having a snapping turtle bite my toddler Tinker off is why I don't swim in Missouri lakes. Yeah, you know, I think about that, but not my Tinker.
That makes me think about the Chuck Berry song. Man, them snappers are real quick, or however he says, all around my feet. He's got the My Ding-a-Ling song.
Yeah.
I
always think about him
exactly what made me think of.
Like snatching toes.
Oh, snap it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of Snatch, our special guest tonight is the one and only Dan Williams.
Hey! What's up, Dan?
Now that's a segue, Dave.
Right? Speaking of Snatch. Segue for the ages. That's what
we snatched you off the streets to bring you onto the show.
Hey!
And Sean, so I listened to the Mantis story, dude. You have to look up. It's a bug assault pistol.
Is it the salt ones?
The salt one is like an assault rifle.
Oh, okay.
String powered. This thing is CO2 powered, and it fires like 6 rounds of rock salt at bugs.
What?
For bigger bugs. Oh, it's awesome. Check it out.
Oh, it's a revolver.
Yes.
Oh.
It has a definite revolver thing to it. So
okay.
Awesome. You need one of those for the next time you totally could have like drawn down on it.
Oh man, I really could have brought a gun to a freaking Talon fight. You know what I mean?
They rocked the whole thing, dude.
Dang it! I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna have to get that and take it to every camping trip ever. Screw a normal pistol. I got the freaking bug salt. It's great.
You're gonna have to tell that story on the trip, on the road trip here.
I mean, I will. I'm down. Like, I don't know how many people out there have a freaking praying mantis story, so it's great.
Yeah,
I'm unique. Okay, leave me alone.
I am special.
Exactly. Speaking of tour,
if you want to see the tour, join us on the tour. You can go to Facebook and find the Midwest Mystery Tour. Go to the events tab, and you can find the events that we are doing. The Middle Point School in Middle Point, Ohio, Malvern Manor, which is on October 30th, by the way.
Yes.
Ray County Museum, Thomas Building, and Carpenter's Mortuary. We have a mystery special guest for each location, and we're going to be doing mystery experiments. What are the experiments? Well, we can't tell you because they're mystery. So mysterious that we don't even know. I'm just kidding. Yep. I do know. And some of them were kind of messed up.
Well,
some. So. If you don't want to check out the Facebook page to do it, you can go to Eventbrite and just type in Midwest Mystery Tour. It'll pull up the closest one to you, and then it'll show you the others.
Perfect.
So that's that. We're moving right through this thing.
Yeah, we are. We're moving through. Was it with under? Yeah, it's under 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice. So what story shall we start with first? Flip a coin.
I have one that we can discuss.
All right, let's do it.
I grabbed this story. Awesome. I grabbed this story because I thought this was a good discussing point.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just read it real quick. It says a popular vlogger in China was forced to issue an apology and pay restitution to a homeowner who took him to court after the man posted a video wherein he claimed her house was haunted. The weird case reportedly began when the internet star identified as Lou, go figure, somehow managed to sneak into the residence of a woman named Zhou, Z-H-O-U, and filmed footage of what he asserted was paranormal activity. The video was apparently convincing enough that it went viral on social media in China, amassing millions and millions of views and sparking all manner of speculation surrounding the ghostly happenings in the home. Upon discovering that her house, which is not actually haunted, had been used as the setting for the viral video, she was understandably upset and attempted to get Lou to remove the wildly popular footage. As one might imagine, based on the traffic that the production generated, the vlogger was unwilling to do so and instead simply blocked the aggrieved homeowner. To her credit, she did not let this deter her, and she decided to sue Lou for what she alleged was a violation of China's recently passed cyber violence law. Despite the vlogger's insistence that he was innocent, the court disagreed and sided with the homeowner, who received a settlement of around $400 as well as a written apology from the internet star.
So the moral of the story is don't break into people's houses and call them haunted.
Yeah, well, there's that, but like the way I started looking at this is like with all these paranormal shows on Facebook and people doing investigations and stuff on TikTok and whatever, are we going to get to this point where people are faking so much evidence that they're going to fake evidence with the wrong people and they're going to get sued? Because that could be a thing.
I think that's kind of a no-brainer, actually.
I wonder if it's happened yet.
I hope it do.
Or has it happened? We just haven't heard about it.
Well, I know like certain people that have investigated the Sally house have faked stuff and left their bull effery behind.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's
nothing ever happens.
It's pay to play. So, I mean, even if you fake something at a pay to play location, they're not going to bitch too much because it's just going to bring more people in.
Well, yeah, that's generating money, I suppose. But I mean, in places that care about their reputation, like Ashmore, Robin doesn't play no games with that.
Oh, Robin wouldn't play any games about that. I think Robin has actually told stories about kicking people out for faking stuff.
Good.
Yeah. So, like,
I gotta say, I wish people weren't so butthurt when you like when they obviously they show you a picture of something or hey, check out this, and then if you put your honest opinion into it, like, well, it could be this or it could be this, and they get upset about it. It's like, look, you asked me, right? You asked me for honest opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're faking. It's just it's hard to tell whether it's real or not because I wasn't there. It wasn't for the stuff like that. So I wish people would be a little bit more understanding when they present stuff like that. So, anyways.
Well, I mean, typically by the time somebody shows you something like that, they've convinced themselves that it is absolutely real.
Yeah.
And so they just want confirmation. as opposed to actual discussion.
True. Good point. They just want that. Oh, so you believe too? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
like all the freaking orb pictures out there. That's just dust or bugs.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that out there.
I mean,
Cassie's calling out location owners. She said certain people who lived at the haunted locations fake stuff.
Cassie.
And then we get this. I want to hear the story about the night Dave and Dan went in search of a lighter in Kansas City.
Hi, Bart.
That's a great story.
If you want to tell it, Dan, you can tell it.
I really don't, but feel free. I was the dumb one. You were actually. So Dave was actually the voice of reason that night.
That's surprising.
That is the big shock.
Thanks, Charles.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, you say I'm the voice of reason, but what happened later that night too?
All right, that was the far distant voice of reason.
So it was Paracon weekend. We were staying at an Airbnb. Of course, anybody that goes to these Paracons knows that there's always a get together. There's drinks involved and everything, right? So that on one of the nights, I think it was the first night, we were all getting tipsy, and I think Scott was trying to light a cigarette or something.
No, I was trying to light a cigarette, and
I thought you were trying to give him his lighter. Give him your lighter.
I was trying to light a cigarette, and it was one of those because I was an idiot. I brought a Zippo, which of course ran dry on fuel, and I forgot the spare fuel, and so I tried to light it off the burner, which is a time-honored classic.
Yes.
And the Airbnb had one of those stupid induction burners where you have to have the metal pan on it to actually build heat.
Oh.
And so every time I would light it and it would turn red, I would try to light the cigarette and it would just go out. And so I got pissed, and I was just drunk enough, and I was like, I'm going to go get a lighter. So we didn't want to drive because we were both definitely legally intoxicated.
And Dan's like, oh, there's just a gas station around the corner.
That's what Google said. Google lied. So we're like, we're just going to walk. It's like a quarter mile. We'll go down to the 7-Eleven. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. So we take off. We go walking. And the 7-Eleven wasn't there anymore. The building wasn't even there anymore. It was just in the open parking lot. But I really, really wanted a cigarette. And so we're standing there, and I'm like, I see lights down that way. I had no idea what Troost Avenue in Kansas City was at the time.
Oh, God.
And I saw lights, probably a half mile down. I'm like, let's go check those out. There's got to be something there. There's lights on. It's what, 2 o'clock in the morning, Dave?
Yeah. Or later. Or later.
Jesus.
So we start hiking down, and then I hear people talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked across the street, and there was a crowd standing there.
Yes.
And I'm like,
guys in a car.
Oh, yeah, there's a crowd at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's a crowd. I'm like, they got to be smoking crack or something. They got a light. And so
I'm like, no, let's just go back home. Let's just back to the Airbnb. I don't feel like getting shot in KC.
They were fine.
They eventually, yeah. Go ahead.
They were great people. So we go across the street, and the first thing that they said was, y'all from St. Louis? I said, no, I'm from Chicago. And it was okay then. And
everything was fine.
Yeah, we were best buds after that.
Tried to introduce us to his cousin in the car, who had her baby, and I'm pretty sure they were high. They were probably selling too.
Oh, they were way high, and they offered us everything. They're like,
they offered us coke.
For?
They did offer us coke.
Well, to be fair, you were on Troost. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Dave's like, no, man, I just do alcohol. And so they were cool with that. I'm like, I just need a fucking lighter. And
I got my vice right here.
Yeah. They're like, really? You came down here? Because, I'm wearing like a PRI like collared shirt and khaki shorts. We didn't exactly fit in. And they're like, really? You came down here? I'm like, I really need a
white. Just say it, Dan. Just say it. We were white. We were in a dark neighborhood.
It was
We
a bit
stood out.
dark, yeah. But no, it was awesome. The one dude gave me the lighter, which I
Nice.
still have. And he's like, no, you guys got the balls to come down here looking for a lighter. They were awesome. We hung out with them for like 10 minutes and
Yeah, talked to him for a minute, and he gave him the lighter. He didn't like just let him borrow it. He
yeah,
He
he's
thought you guys
like,
were cool.
dude, you take it. I got another one. I'm like, cool. All right.
I bet you do.
Thanks.
Super cool people. It was definitely an experience.
Buy a bag, get a lighter free.
Might as well.
That's why he has so many lighters. There's this preview was by a certain weight.
That's wild. Every time I hear that story, I'm just like, cringe.
Then the next day, well, later that night, I wasn't such a voice of reason, was I, Dan?
Well, no.
What'd you end up drinking?
Oh God. No,
What'd
that
you
was
end
the
up
next year, dude.
No, that was the same.
No, that was the next year. That was when we shot the
Oh,
show.
that's right. That's right. But I still wasn't the voice of reason. I'm just
Here,
saying.
drink this. It's my birthday. Dude, if I drink this, I'm going to puke. Drink it. It's my birthday. Yeah, I did.
How many times did you drink it, though?
I don't know. However many you fed me
Enough.
that night.
Enough.
Enough. Yeah.
It was enough.
don't think I recorded it.
sounded
Like,
like a
Dan's
waterfall, and I
famous
never
now.
woke up. So
I mean, to be fair, that Airbnb you guys were staying at was a nice place.
yeah,
That was a
no,
really
it was
nice
a great
place.
Still, Dan wrecked the floor.
Well,
Well, it mopped up. It was all alcohol,
fine.
dude.
yeah, it's fine. It'll buff out.
The whale sounds, and it just sounded like I don't know, like if you threw a bunch of pasta onto the floor. That's
I'm never
flat.
drinking again.
Yeah,
That's
I
what he
never
said.
woke up, so it was fine for me.
Scott did. Scott got up in a hurry. He's like, "What the hell was that?"
Somebody died? Well,
Just
close.
Dan.
I've been on my back, you know.
Dan can't handle his beer, but he can drink a bunch of liquor. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense. I'm just saying. It makes sense. I don't drink beer. I'm sure if I drank a boatload of beer, I would probably hate myself too.
That is the best thing to do is just vomit if you drink a bunch of beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Party back on.
That's disgusting. But that's what beer's for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Easy
basically
to
that's the
throw up.
lighter story. Is we went and investigated Troost Avenue.
I couldn't do it.
I'm not even gonna say what I just thought of.
Good. Probably a good idea.
After the show. After the show.
All right.
This is for the after dark.
fair. Fair. All right. So this next story is it's a little bit about Elton John, surprisingly. So Elton John is said to have been left terrified after his recording studio became plagued by unexplained paranormal activity, according to his longtime songwriter partner Bernie Taupin. Taupin, who was the hit maker at the time, recalled the spine-chilling accent incidents which occurred during their recording session at Chateau de Hérouville near Paris in the 1980s. Wow, so that's a story they've been hanging on to for a while. And he talked about it in the autobiography. The 18th century property is where the musician pairing recorded John's album Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player, Goodbye the Yellow Brick Road, and Honky Chateau. In an extract from Taupin's memoir obtained by Daily Star, he detailed a number of unexplained ghost-like events that took place, including hearing voices, being tugged and tapped on the shoulder by invisible hands. 73-year-old wrote, "There had always been talk of restless spirits and ghosts, strange, unexplainable events that had filtered down from client to client. I'm by nature seriously skeptical about paranormal, but put yourself in a spooky chateau on a stormy night and confidence is practically flies out the window." That's pretty good.
I don't
Pretty good
know
story
about
so
you
far.
guys, but I don't think it'd be too bad to get tugged on by a spirit.
Well,
Okay,
Depends
it
what you're
would
talking
depend on
about.
the spirit.
are we talking like tugged on, shirt tugged on, or are we talking about like Ghostbusters tugged on, dreaming?
Oh, come on. Everybody that's watched Ghostbusters is, yeah,
It's
that's
a
what
thing.
you want to
It's a
happen.
thing. I
You want
get
to
it.
get that rub and tug.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
But
like
not
you have
by-
a better chance of seeing an apparition though than that actually happening.
But not by a breastless spirit.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, Freddie Mercury would be pretty cool though.
I'm wondering how many times I can get Charles to be like, oh,
Oh,
Well, there you go.
plenty, I'm sure. But the article goes on.
this.
So it started with a freaked out cat and a self-igniting fireplace. I mean, the fire literally started on its own, and the cat looked like it had been electrocuted. Recalling one spooky evening, Toppin said he, John, and pals were left terrified when the lights in the property went out before the songwriter noticed that the mirror had been scratched from the outside. That is weird. And when it came time to listen back to the tracks they had recorded in the chateau, Toppin claimed there were audible moans and groans from spirits. He continued, what is the gospel truth is that when we were playing back tracks in the studio the next day, there were most definitely audible moans and groans on the tape that had disappeared when we replayed them later. See, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I was like, they should have left it in the song, but yeah.
But it was gone. So
damn it.
Who knows? So, with that being said, let's throw this out here, this thought real quick. Do you guys think then, when they played that audio back, that the moans and groans were coming through on like just that specific playback? Like the spirits were talking during the playback because
not being actually recorded on the tape.
Yes.
Yes.
Manipulating it and coming through the speakers. Yeah.
God.
Okay. Cool. All right.
The moans and stuff, and they're coming through the speakers.
Oh, fuck off. So, the ghosts had obviously given up on a recording career, and we were happy to get the hell out of Dodge. The chateau closed its doors for good in 1984, a year after its owner, plagued by debt, took his own life in a nearby hotel. And I believe that's just how they end the article. Just, boom, drop that bomb. Like nothing else.
Dead.
The article's dead with the death of the person. That's crazy. He won't admit it. It was really Elton having a fling in the sound booth. Gotta love you, Bart. Gotta love you. That was pretty good. All right, Dave, what's another one you got? What's another one? Oh, that's funny.
This ought to get some people talking. The new JFK information.
Oh, yes. Have you heard this yet, Dan?
I have not. This is like
okay. Oh, man. This is actually really good newsworthy stuff.
A former Secret Service agent, Paul Landis, who was present at JFK's assassination, recently came forward with a revelation that changes the magic bullet theory and raises questions about the possibility of a second shooter. Landis, now 88 years old, shared his recollection with the New York Times nearly 60 years after the tragic event. He claimed that in the chaos following the shooting, he discovered a nearly pristine bullet on the back seat of the open limousine, just behind where Kennedy had been sitting when he was killed. Landis preserved the bullet for autopsy investigators by placing it on the president's hospital stretcher. This discovery challenges the long-held belief that the magic bullet was found on Texas Governor John Connally's stretcher and suggests it may have rolled from Kennedy's stretcher, potentially undermining the theory and lending support to the idea that Lee Harvey Oswald may not have acted alone in the assassination.
Does it say what caliber bullet it was?
I'll pull it up. Give me a second.
Let him pull it up. I just had like a short article about that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean that would be really what I'd be curious about.
Now, like for me, like one of the few movies that ever made sense to me or theories that made sense was there's a documentary called the Smoking Gun, and throughout it's a big buildup about who shot the killing shot. And at the end, it was one of the Secret Service agents in the car behind them that fired the killing shot, because once Lee Harvey Oswald shot and missed his target, the Secret Service agent pulled up with an AR and stumbled with it and accidentally fired off a round, which was the round that killed JFK.
Yeah.
So
I would find that fairly iffy. You know,
But
those guys
yeah,
kind of know how
you have to watch the
works.
movie. It makes sense when you watch the movie.
Yeah.
So-
Like
I didn't look up like the exact caliber, but this will give you like the size comparison of what the bullet is.
Bart will have
And
it. Watch.
oh, true. That's a good point. So personally, I don't subscribe to the magic bullet theory. I think it's BS that the Warren Commission made up to make something plausible. Also, the Warren Commission didn't even question this Secret Service agent at all.
Right.
Like, didn't have him involved, anything. So here's the bullet itself. So, not
It was absolutely not out of a Mazda Nagant.
right.
100%.
Right. So,
That is also not out of an AR-15 or M16, though.
right. So, I'm going to show you the diagram, so they say, of what the magic bullet did or how it worked. And, you know, people can decide for themselves if they believe it, but I truly don't believe it, especially with this guy coming forward. But, so this is the magic bullet, right? It goes in through basically his back, comes out his neck, through the other guy, and then goes down. Well, the bullet, as we know, the Secret Service agent found was, there you go, Bart. Boom. That's the one that supposedly killed JFK.
Okay.
So
a 6.5 is actually a boat tail bullet, whereas
what?
that is a boat tail. So it looks, that it's like you would think of a bullet out of a rifle,
Yeah.
with that pointed tip type thing.
yeah,
So that was actually out of something more black powder cartridge ish.
yeah. So what is it? The Lee Harvey Oswald, I think. What did he use? Was it
It was a carbine, wasn't it?
I'd always heard
it was a
Mazda.
bolt action. It was a bolt
Well,
action
it's
rifle.
supposed to have been a Mazda Nagant, right?
Yeah, because he was supposed to get off like so many shots. Like 3 shots were said to be fired by him, I thought. One they thought was a backfire or a firework, and that's when you see Kennedy first kind of like going down, like clutching, which is where that bullet supposedly enters through his back/neck. Then you have the second shot, and then you have the killing shot. So I think, personally, the one that hit his back, the one that we see, is the one that was found in the bench. Now, I do believe that if one did go through Kennedy's neck, it went through his neck and then it hit the other guy. So that's 2 bullets.
Yeah,
and then
I
we
can
had the
see that.
killing bullet. Right, then we had the killing bullet from the head. So, which to me, when you look at the Zapruder film of when he gets shot, he gets hit, I believe, from the front right. So you don't get hit from the back and fly backwards like this.
Yeah,
way.
no, it doesn't work
That
that
doesn't
way.
happen. That's not how physics work. Right, exactly. So you have to get hit from the front right, which is how that happened. And that's when you see JFK fly backwards on the tape and you see that brain matter go everywhere. So I definitely think how he was positioned, the grassy knoll is literally to the front right and where that shot would have directly come from. Or there's the thought that one of these other shots, like what Dave was saying, it came from a Secret Service member behind them, and the gun was like picked up and it was mishandled or something, and it shot him. So, however you want to put it, though, the Secret Service agent comes forward and, to me, I think just completely discredits this whole magic bullet theory. And I really believe that they made this up just to make people stay quiet, because conspiracy theories really started to happen. Or confusing people, because I think the Warren Commission actually was involved to cover it up.
Yeah.
More
Probably,
so, more so than to actually figure out what happened. And to give us light of that, the current administration sealed away the files again.
I will say though, if
So-
anybody wants to see our episode on the JFK assassination, definitely check that out. There's some really cool information that's in that episode that'll get you thinking. That was one of my favorite episodes we did. So really in depth.
Oh yeah, it was great. But there was something else I wanted to add to that. That Secret Service agent, he was detailed to Jackie Kennedy's service. Like, as the president, but he was more focused on Jackie Kennedy.
Right.
But
And also, if
he-
you remember, the Secret Service or the FBI they would not leave the autopsy room.
No.
They would not, and anything that they found, they took. So there's no record of the autopsy.
Yeah.
They took everything,
Yep.
even like a cassette tape that the doctor had recorded and all that. Like they took literally everything.
Well, that goes into them trying to cover up if
Yeah.
a Secret Service agent is the one who accidentally killed
Yeah.
JFK. So,
Well, I mean, you got to think accidentally or air quotes.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. So it's such a fascinating subject, but I'm so glad that this guy's coming forward with this, because I know he said that bullet they have, that is the one. He's like, no, that was the bullet that I picked up. That was the exact one. And I could have sworn in the article too that he had found other bullet holes or bullets in the seat, but the car wasn't treated like a crime scene at all. They just shuffled it on out, cleaned it up, and it was done. They didn't even examine it like a crime scene, which
Right.
Well,
blows
I
my
mean,
mind.
here's what I'm wondering: like, why would there be a bullet in the car?
Right.
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Sitting on
How
the-
does it end up sitting there?
Yeah,
Right.
You know, so
That's what I'm saying. If it was in the back, like, and maybe it just didn't go through him or something, or if it was a weaker bullet,
I don't know.
maybe.
well, that'd kind of be the only thing, because, like I said, that actually looks like a black powder cartridge bullet.
Yeah.
And so it could have been a lower velocity bullet that basically hit bone and kind of fell out.
Yeah, like just stick in, not go through it. Like, because I can understand if the bullet goes in and it's supposed to cause some damage, like inside, but it maybe didn't or something. But, and I know it has some grooves on it too for the way that it was, or the design.
I
of
just
the
don't
bullet,
understand why anybody would want to kill this young man.
Well, he did say he wanted to scatter the 3-letter agency to the wind and get it.
I was digging a hole because I know you're about to go into this hole.
Anyways,
The rabbit hole.
Another story. But yeah, that is fascinating. I'm so glad this guy's coming forward and talking about it. It's not getting really any national attention, which blows my mind, but doesn't blow my mind. Oh, that's
it kind of
horrible. I should've
leans
said that.
towards I'm not too shocked about that.
Yeah, that's true. So also something in history, they found out, and I didn't know of this, but so John Dee, the scientific advisor to Queen England or Elizabeth I in 16th century, his spirit mirror came from the Aztec Empire. So the article goes on to the 16th century courtier John Dee, a scientific advisor to England's Queen Elizabeth I, was also deeply involved in magic and the occult. He tried to commune with ghosts using a so-called spirit mirror made of polished obsidian. Now, a new analysis of Dee's infamous mirror has finally traced its origin, not to the spirit world, but to the Aztec Empire. Obsidian mirrors such as Dee's were known from Aztec culture, but there were no records. What?
Did you say D's?
I'm not going to say it.
These nuts. Ha! Got him!
You're welcome.
Always the entertainer, Dave.
Always. So, the mirror. Gosh dang it! I can't word it up. Where was I at? D's were known from Aztec culture, but there were no records on his mirror's origins. However, the geochemical analysis enabled researchers to link the mirror's obsidian, a type of volcanic glass, to Machuca, Mexico, a popular source of obsidian for Aztec people. This finding indicated that the artifact was Aztec and not a copy from European obsidian. And John Dee likely acquired the mirror after it was brought to Europe from Mexico, according to a new study. So to me, I thought that was very interesting.
Well, you look at scrying mirrors, a lot of those are made out of obsidian. Polished obsidian, which, I mean...
you look at the spiritual connection of the Aztecs.
Yeah.
If I was, to attempt scrying and had the option to do it with an Aztec mirror, I would probably give that a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would too.
Charles, when we were coming back from the Dustin Perry, Chris Williams event, I was watching a video about, I can't remember the guy's name that did the experiment with all the mirrors. Like they built this box to do this. It's like ultimate scrying. But it was like he he felt like he teleported into another dimension almost, or time jumped to a time when he was a kid, and even talked to himself or something like that. Like it was kind of interesting. But he built like this big box, all mirrors all around him, and he sat in it and then played some vibration or something, I think it was, and like he did this kind of meditation thing, and he just boom.
I mean, that's basically altered conscience stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Once you can get the human brain to break its normal boundaries, you're going to experience a bunch of weird shit. Just like you you stuck me down in Ashmore, dude.
What? I never did that.
You know, drugs can just
be there for 10 minutes. Half an hour later, I'm hearing choirs and freezing and shivering.
We actually just watched that video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like last week, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we watched that video of Dan getting put down there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Nobody puts Dan in the corner.
Well, he was in an open room, so.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, the experience was absolutely crazy. But I'm sure it was a combination of the pink noise, the hypothermia.
True.
And so once you break that perception, it's amazing.
You could have lost a toe. I mean,
it's fine.
You have 9 others.
Yeah, it's fine, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely for sure. So I didn't know this, but that's what those black mirrors were used for back in Aztecan times. They were used for I don't know if that's true, but I'm rolling with it. Aztec times. They were used for scrying and peering into the future. So they were used by their mystics. So it makes sense that John Dee would also try to use that in the same aspect. So that was, I mean, they don't teach you about that in school. So it's like,
and then it's just kind of carried over throughout the centuries. Like you go with the Victorian times and their, rituals and spiritualist movement and all that stuff. They were trying all that. Like that record's been there. And what I think is kind of cool is the fact that it's still out there and people are still trying it.
Yeah.
There must be something to it, right?
It's not necessarily a craft, but it's a thing that's definitely been people have been trying to hone. And
well, I know, I mean, Dave and I have had conversations about it, trying to recreate some of the old spiritualist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough people doing it. They were getting some interesting results. Try that now and then actually document the results of it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, the blind faith, the belief, the religious fervor, where you go, okay, something happened. What exactly happened? And you document it, instead of just going, they were, kooks. There was an awful lot of kooks back in the day. So
we get one of those old timey cameras. Maybe we can get that crap coming out of your face.
Exactly. Make some ectoplasm, man.
If we get one of those old timey cameras, you could probably do that with your vape. Just blow it out of your nose.
But, oh my God, spirit! But the thing is, I mean, the old stuff is still valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like people were stupid back then. They just, didn't have maybe the same technological level.
Put a bell on a door. Use a candle to see if there's any wind or anything,
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff still works.
The culture I would say I'm definitely fascinated with, or I would like to learn about more so, is the ancient Egyptian mystics, right? Like what they did during their times of rituals and stuff like that. Like I don't know enough of that to really know, but I do know that they had a good sense of alchemy to where certain powders were able to do certain things, and it was magic in the eyes of others when it was just simple chemistry.
Dude, they were able to gold plate things.
Yes.
They used electricity to gold plate items. So they
take it a step further.
Technological understanding.
Oh yeah.
Take it a step further and go to ancient Sumeria. Go start studying ancient Sumeria.
Oh yeah.
They had mathematics, astrology. They made their own beer. They were making metals. They were learning to read and write and everything like that. Like they were far more advanced than anybody should have been at that time, according to science. So yeah, and not everything that they've done has been translated. Like all the scribes or the tomes or whatever hasn't been translated. But whenever it does, what kind of stuff that they explore as far as spiritualism?
Exactly. I mean, that's one of my big fascinations. Always has been. Is I doubt they were completely wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about aliens even.
Yeah.
Well, so that's actually very fascinating that you bring that up, Dave, because there was a new discovery here within the last, I want to say this past year, where they found a new, not a new, but like they found a new burial site from some Syrian time or Mesopotamian time, but they were searching for the Holy of Holies. Well, they found, I guess, a piece of what was another type of the Epic of Gilgamesh. So they were hoping to find it because we obviously only know so much of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Right. Could you imagine what else could be there with when they find new discoveries? Well, so Dave and I kind of went off on this for a different show, but we were talking about how, what if underneath like the Sphinx and the pyramids, like you dig down even deeper, what else could be down there? Right? They've only stopped at a certain point. Like history as we know it is, you just keep going and it's just farther down below us. So I've always thought that, well, what if the stone that they're walking on could be the top of a structure that has yet to be dug up. So I'm fascinated with stuff like that.
And that's kind of the thing is, I've always correlated where we're at in the paranormal world with where archaeology was in, 1910.
Yeah.
Where, you break open the wall of the pyramid and you go, oh my God, look at this cool shit. But you never really look what the cool shit was or why it was there. You just,
right.
throw it out and just play
the
it.
Curse.
Right. It's cast.
Yeah, exactly. But,
we got demons.
The thing, and that's one of the reasons that the PRI exists, is just to try and take it to the next level and go, what is valid, what is real, that we're just kind of poo-pooing, but has proved itself to be real, in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, mold.
So interesting. What?
It's not demons, it's mold.
Oh yeah.
You're not cursed.
I mean,
you're not dying from a curse. You're dying from mold.
You're not cursed. You're just sick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say that. Kelly, sorry, Kelly said, didn't they stop digging because it was flooded? I'm guessing she's talking about the
Pyramid of Giza.
Well, Pyramid of Giza, but then I was saying the Sphinx. The Sphinx had the water underneath it, but to me, well, like what we had talked about before, we had said that maybe the Sphinx was not submerged, but maybe it was in water, like it was laying in a bed of water. That could have come from the Nile, who knows? But
because of that underground river or whatever.
Right. So it could have been much higher than just over time it's slowly gone down, which of course there's water under Egypt. Like it does.
But even with the water, they went so far, or they're allowing the public to go only so far, but you can go to a point where there's water in this one tomb, but there's like a doorway across this water that they won't allow the public into. So,
but what were we watching with Josh Gates? Wasn't it Egyptian where they found something? Wasn't it a pharaoh?
With Josh Gates. Yeah.
Was that what it was? Where they found some pharaoh's tomb that was like
I
can't remember. But it was so far down, like in the sand, that it was just there's water there. And it's like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah,
it was the Kush Empire.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which the Kush and the Egyptians were basically intermingled.
Yes,
like their properties and the power, or the overseers of power. It like went back and forth. But yeah, that tomb of the Kush king, it was totally submerged in the desert. Go in the tomb.
It's almost like a Curse of Oak Island kind of stuff, right? Like, which Oak Island is surrounded by water.
Yeah, that's some fascinating stuff.
Oh, man. So fascinating.
The Oak Island stuff, I always found, one of my big things was that they found palm fronds.
Yeah.
And so somebody very carefully designed this.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I don't think it was just one group of people. I think there was, like, over time.
Well, there was definitely huge resources put into it.
I'm not talking about like digging up the treasure. I mean depositing. I think there was several groups that came in there to deposit within that area, and that's why they're finding tunnels at this elevation and tunnels at this deeper elevation or depth. So like I think I'm ready for the new season. I want to see what happens because they were getting pretty damn close to something.
I thought I heard a story that they had found the treasure, and then this next season was like them finding it.
Well, that's what's been out there for like 3 years now. Like
Fair
I've
enough.
seen like articles like,
If that's the case, I'll probably actually watch that because I'd like to see what it is.
yeah, because they're in
Me
a
too.
tunnel right now. Like they've built the structure down into a tunnel. Now they just got to go this way with it and see what's at the end of the tunnel.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool because I've been reading about the Oak Island stuff since way before there was a show.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s when I was a kid, it was one of the things that probably drug me into the paranormal was that somebody had put this much time and effort and, done so much engineering. And of course, like regular humans were fucking idiots. And instead of trying to think through it, we just, let's check down, But it's like, what's there?
Exactly. So curious.
So I've got one more article I want to read here because I think this is kind of a big deal. An experiment to produce oxygen on Mars has concluded successfully and surpassed NASA's initial goals. Over the course of 2 years, a device on the Perseverance rover called MOXIE generated 122 grams of oxygen, equivalent to what a small dog breathes in 10 hours. MOXIE works by converting Mars's abundant carbon dioxide into oxygen. The device demonstrated remarkable efficiency, producing 12 grams of oxygen an hour at 90% purity, double NASA's target. The director of technology demonstrations at NASA stated, by proving this technology in real-world conditions, we've come one step closer to a future in which astronauts live off the land on the red planet.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
So, that's cool. I have a tendency. There's a lot of stuff that Neil deGrasse Tyson says that I don't care for.
Same.
But I think his big thing that he said about the colonization of Mars is if we have the technology to colonize Mars, why don't we just fix our planet?
Right.
Facts.
Why wouldn't we just use that effort to fix everything?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
See, and something I've watched a show where they were talking about like, have we ever been to the moon and stuff like that. There's a layer of radiation around the Earth. Our astronauts cannot survive that radiation. No, we have not been to the moon.
Exactly, yeah.
Have not been to the moon, and we only send like rovers and shit now that can handle the
what was it?
radiation.
Supposedly went to the moon recently. India?
India.
Supposedly.
Yeah. India found
Supposedly.
water.
Did you ever see video of it?
That's why I said supposedly.
Yeah, you never see photo or video of it. Like it's that radiation is what's stopping us from leaving a certain point in our above our atmosphere.
It's the Van Allen belt, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, to colonize Mars, we would have to still produce suits that can block out that much radiation, which is impossible at this point. So, good luck. Thanks for spending our money on useless crap, NASA.
Well, it's interesting, and I can see the experimentation, but anybody that's like, 10 years we're going to be colonizing Mars, I don't think we probably will.
I realistically, I don't think that either.
We're never going to search Uranus. It's full of shit.
Hey,
Hey.
hey. No,
And
what I
it
honestly
left fast. Thanks, Dave.
right.
It's
I
a
would
gassy planet.
I love the idea of space travel and
You're right there.
going through time and space, and I love stuff like that. So to
Yeah.
me, like, would I love for us to go to Mars? Yeah, I'd love for us to go to Mars, but I don't think we need to terraform it. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we need to bring it back to life or anything. It's dead for a reason. Let's just keep it that way.
We killed it.
Don't read from the book, guys. Don't read from the book.
Descendants of mankind probably killed it. A
Probably.
millennia ago, they were probably living on Mars, looking at the Earth, going, we could terraform that.
They probably did successfully, and now they're like, what happened to that technology? Oxygen was too pure.
We blew ourselves up.
We needed all the gold.
Yep. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
Hey.
we're here to mine the gold for
I'll
all the
cheers
other
to that.
alien races.
Here's the gold and never
Cheers.
getting a dime of it.
You gonna say hi since you just popped through?
No.
Oh, come on, say
I
hi.
have pajamas.
Hi,
Yeah,
Sophie.
but now you're live though. Now you're talking to
Now
everybody
there's
else.
more people,
And you know what?
more people to say hi to.
Oh, I do.
Oh, no, you do.
Oh, I
not.
do. Come here. Come
I
come
I
here.
saw a hand.
Shy.
Scientific method. So you hate that.
What's that?
I believe in the scientific method.
I know
and
you.
hate
You
that.
completely believe in the scientific method.
Bye.
We have had many debates about that.
All
And
good.
this is me leaving.
All good.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
No, we no, I don't think we'll ever reach Mars. We'll never reach the moon. Not in my lifetime.
I wouldn't say never. I
Not
mean,
my
I
life.
think that the technology is
Maybe.
there.
I think once we, if we can,
Alien.
I was gonna say, if we can
Alien
implement, if we can implement the backwards technology that we've used for alien spacecraft, which I fully believe that we have done, if we can bring that to public eyes, or if someone can figure that out naturally, because honestly, depending on how you subscribe to things, there could be a space force. We could have a base on the moon. We could have a base on Mars, but we don't know as far as civilian mindset goes, right? Like they don't, if they want us to know it, they will let us know, or they'll leak it out. Like the whole alien thing. Conspiracy theorists have known that aliens have existed for a long, or that there's something going on that has been happening for a while. And then all of a sudden, oh look,
Right.
aliens are mainstream now and UFOs exist.
But I mean, really, where is the difference between that and the whole paranormal thing?
Exactly.
You know, that's one of the big arguments I've had is, you know, we have this great technology. No one in the paranormal field, and, you know, I'm including parapsychologists, nobody is actually leveraging the technology we have to look for what we're, you know, theoretically looking
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
And so to leverage that technology, you know, just the stuff that we did with the REG, all of a sudden, oh, look, we can statistically prove that something exists. You
Mhm.
know, do we know what it is? No, but we can show that there's something that's there.
So you've got data to back it up and prove it.
Something
There's
is
something
And
going
I mean,
on.
we're just a bunch of boneheads. You know, we're not backed by universities. We're not backed by, you know, high tech individuals. We're just doing what we can do.
See, okay, no, I'm going to throw this out to you guys. So we obviously know that secret UFO program or UFO UAP programs exist. Do you guys think that secret paranormal programs exist in the government?
Oh, I guarantee they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
What if, at some, not all, at some locations, that's what we're experiencing?
It could be.
Some of
The
these
government.
secrets.
It's kind of one of the big jokes between Scott and I that, you know, we're going to keep moving forward because we do what we do. And one of these days, I'm going to come home and there's going to be a black limousine sitting in my driveway. And it's going to be knock it off.
You've gone too far.
Yeah.
You're gonna roll down your window.
And,
and
you know, at that point, it's going to be just pay me. I'll go live on an island and cool. I forgot everything. But, you know, yeah, you know, we're pushing past what everybody says you can't do.
Right.
And eventually there will be some ramifications for that.
I think we'll see that soon enough with the aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
reptilians.
you're going to see it, I think, in every aspect of the paranormal, you know, and that's one of the big lectures is once you start answering those questions, it's no longer paranormal, it's now normal.
Yep.
Right.
And I think there's some of that normal that there are certain factions in the world that don't want to be normal, if that makes sense.
Well, let me ask you this, Dan. Do you think that there's so many teams and so many people investigating now that every place is haunted, that it's no longer paranormal, that it is, at this point, normal? They've normalized the
That's Dan's
paranormal.
thing.
Well, you know, I don't know if it's normal. I think it's a smoke show. You know, I really do think there's so much of it and people get desensitized to it and people go, yeah, whatever. And, you know, believe it, don't believe it. It doesn't really matter. It's in front of you and okay, you know, there's 86 teams that have been there with whatever technology that have found stuff. Nobody cares anymore.
Right.
And so I think it's more of a desensitization than it actually is of discovery.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
So no normality of the paranormal at this point.
Well, right. Because think about it. Every show that's on the air, they find, earth shattering, earth breaking, never before seen, blah, 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 blah. What happens when you really do? And you come out and go, hey, we've done this. What do people say? Okay, so is the other 87 million fucking TV shows on.
If it wasn't on TV, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. I will say I think you're onto something there, Dan, for sure, because I definitely feel like ever since the push of pop culture back in, I would say, the 50s and 60s, for whether it be horror or aliens, ghosts, what have you, it is a type of desensitization. And then we had that huge push of that in the 90s / early 2000s when all these ghost shows started coming out, where not necessarily the investigation shows, but like the top 10 haunted places or most haunted kind of stuff. Like it is a type of, like it's new, it's fun, it's awesome. Yeah. But it is a type of desensitization where you take somebody from the 1920s, right? Someone in the 1920s to someone now. So they would be so terrified.
Well, they would be absolutely
so much stuff
in a corner screaming, in their boots, and we're just like, whatever,
Yeah, like horror movies back then compared to horror movies now, people would be having heart attacks.
Oh yeah,
right? They wouldn't be able to handle it. So yeah, I definitely think you're right that where you're on something with that desensitization. But I definitely feel like where it is still paranormal. Now, to us, the paranormal is normal for us. Obviously, that's just how it is. The supernatural is pretty normal,
right?
Until we have something happen, like Dave seeing a hand somewhere at a certain location, and at Garnett, where he saw a hand, he was like, "Oh shit!" Like that. Like for me,
literally just happened. Like
the thing is,
Tuesday night that happened.
And that was really one of the hardest things when we started, going down the road that the PRI is going down, is being able to say it doesn't matter how intense your paranormal occurrence is,
right?
Whether it's a cold spot, whether it's a hand, whether it's a phantom figure, it's all a paranormal occurrence.
Yes.
And so to put that into, kind of a binary mindset is just insane.
And I agree with Bart on that as well.
Yes, Bart is 100% correct. None of this would have happened if it hadn't been for Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Scooby Crew. Oh, jeepers, gang. No, that's something I'll obviously like. It's obvious where you have something happen. It's unexplained. You can't really explain it. You could just describe, oh, hey, this happened to me, right? And you could take it with a grain of salt. Or you could be like, oh, if you trust the person, right? It's also who it comes from, if you trust them or not. So, like with Dave, like I absolutely fully believe that he saw a hand, especially at Garnett.
And I don't doubt that. The thing is that I've had hundreds of people come up to me and say, yeah, this happened to me, and in their mind, it is reality.
Fully, absolutely.
Yeah.
The problem I have with it is if it's not documented and it's not repeatable, I can't use that.
Exactly.
And that's been like the curse of the paranormal world since they started trying to chase ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Is no one has ever, and that's what we're trying to do, is this happened now at this time, under this weather conditions, during this barometric pressure, during this and this and this and this.
Yep.
And if you gather enough of that data and you can start repeating it, then you can finally start studying it.
Well, I wish you guys were with me at Garnett House on Tuesday, because the circumstances around that moment were it was phenomenal.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And, and that's the thing is shit, Dave, you and I have been places and it's like, oh, holy fuck, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Science. And that's the hard part is, being able to step back. Like I
I would have loved to have seen the RNG at work
Oh,
there
absolutely.
at night because
Absolutely.
we had like within a 30-minute, not even a 30-minute, maybe a 15-minute span, we had dolls being knocked off shelves, voices. The flashlight that I had up in the attic just fucking died. And then I saw a hand on the ladder to the attic because I was sitting up in the attic in the dark because the flashlight died. I saw a hand holding on to the top rail and just kind of move off. And Austin was nowhere near that ladder because he was live streaming on the floor beneath me.
Right.
So we did get the dolls being coming off.
I'll say you did.
Video.
Well, so it is documented technically with Austin being live streamed that nobody was near that ladder except you.
Yeah.
I was in the back room of the attic coming out.
Yeah.
Because Austin was having the dolls coming off the thing, and I got up and I went to go talk to him, and I'd seen the hand from that doorway that's in the middle of the rooms. I seen the hand on the ladder, and I was like, Austin, are you on the ladder? He's like, no, I'm in this other room. I'm like, oh shit, are you kidding me?
Well,
It was
dude,
crazy.
It goes back to when we were shooting the episode at
The blocks.
what's that? Yeah, the blocks.
Blocks.
You know, as soon as all the cameras were shut off, as soon as the interviews are done, the blocks fly off the shelf.
Of course.
We all
That's
watched
something
it.
nobody
We
knows.
all saw it. It was valid, but it doesn't do anything to help explain anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's something nobody knows about that episode. The one that you're in. Like, I shot his interview. As soon as we wrapped up, the blocks that were on the shelf just come off.
Done.
Yeah, damn near hit me in the head.
It's like
Yeah.
there was no reason for that.
Yeah.
You must have said something that pissed him off, Dan.
Probably.
And
Said they weren't real.
to what Cassie said here is, she find that very few people have the patience to getting the data and working to get it, repeat it, and document it. That is so true because most shows now, I feel like, is just, it happens, it's a big, huge hurrah, rah, rah, and then it's over, right? Like,
I
just
mean, the
move
thing
on to
you
the
have
next
to remember about that too is shows are shows.
Right.
They
Not
exist
actual-
to bring in entertainers. I've talked to so many people that have been on the shows, and they're like, it's not really about the investigation; it's about the story.
Yeah.
And, so that's one of the big problems that I personally have with all the paranormal shows. It's not about the data. It's not about furthering the field. It's not about explaining mysteries. It's about being entertaining and
It's the wow factor.
catching and grabbing viewers.
Mhm.
And it always will be. I mean, that's the nature of TV, and that's fine. That's entertainment.
Yeah.
See, and now with the repeating the stuff or getting it to repeat and document it, I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn here because I've actually been successful at doing that. Where like at Garnett House, when with Scott, like asking it to perform on command, and it does. And then, like, even on a live stream, it did it on command.
No, you've done a fantastic job, and
Thanks,
I
Grizzly.
really think Paranormal
What's up,
Studies,
Grizzly?
the episode of Paranormal Studies that we filmed, did a really good job of highlighting suggestion and where that kind of fits into the psyche.
Absolutely.
I
I definitely think that the power of suggestion, like going over it with what we did with Paranormal Studies, that opened my eyes a little bit more to that power of suggestion. It's pretty crazy. Makes a lot of sense.
Dude, you were hearing cannon shots
Yeah,
when doors were closing
yeah.
because I had dropped all that false information on you.
I was like, what the hell? What am I hearing? This is weird. Probably just
Yeah.
some gunshots off in the distance or something.
Or
It was
cars
actually
on a highway.
in
Just,
the
Yeah.
parking lot, but.
Well,
I remember I
yeah.
dropped that whole story about the Civil War battle and the blah, 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 blah.
I'd be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And so all of a sudden it was fitting into your perspective on it.
Hmm.
and you
You
guys
know,
directed
Jack
your
and the-
investigation to focus on that.
Here we got a question. Y'all ever been to Zach Bagans' haunted museum in Vegas? I've never
have.
been.
No, I have not.
Never
I would
been.
like to. I would actually like to go check it out sometime.
I'd like to check out that one and then the Warrens Museum. I would love to check out the Warrens Museum.
Like, I've been to Vegas, but we didn't have time to go to Baggins Museum. I mean, technically, I've seen like all the costumes and shit that they wear for the show because Justin had the storage unit full of it.
Yeah.
But I did see that Zach has a new display or room that you actually have to sign a waiver before you go into it.
Oh wow.
Oh, I would totally sign a waiver. I would be curious, but I bet you
Yeah.
can't touch anything.
Probably not. Probably can't even take pictures.
Oh yeah.
Like Elvis is in Graceland, you can't have any flash photography or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And they keep the house so dark, curtains drawn and everything. It's like, I can't see anything. Why can't I not turn on a flashlight?
Yeah.
So dumb. I get it. They want to preserve it all.
That makes
Exactly.
sense.
Well, gentlemen, I actually have to bail. That beep that you've been hearing in the background is the credit union telling me something's wrong. So I got to log in and see what the hell's going on. So.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not a
So
big deal. It's just, systems run, and if they screw up, then I get paid and get to fix it. So
Yeah.
That's fair.
but they
All right,
can be
brother.
cranky. So
Appreciate you
Sir
jumping
Dan,
on.
it's good to have you on.
I appreciate talking to you guys, and hopefully let's get together soon. You all need to come up here.
Working on it.
Definitely
All
working
right.
on it. Take care, Dan.
And talk to you guys later.
All right, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. No, Kathy, he's not getting robbed. He does IT. So like when it's a company's system has an alert or something, he has to fix it.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Smart.
But
Because
yeah,
we have Rome, and it's like an old haunted mining town, kind of creepy. That's interesting.
what's that?
I've never heard of Jerome,
I've heard of
Arizona. Have
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Yes, I have. The only so whenever I went to Vegas, I went out there for 10 days.
Yeah.
Justin and I in Austin, every night we were investigating basically. We went to the town of Nelson as a ghost town.
Cool.
With the Hellhound mines and stuff like that. It was pretty freaking amazing. And I want to go back there and I want to investigate that ghost town because of the serial killer. It was Nevada's first serial killer.
Paranormal road trip. What?
Like there's a shop, like you go there and you pay some money to go walk around and look at all the buildings in the ghost town. But right outside that shop, like when it was an active mining town, this serial killer literally shot somebody with a shotgun right outside the door.
Holy
Right
cow.
there. He was never caught. He was never caught, but he did die in a cave, I guess, and his body was mummified when they found him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Crazy shit. I think he killed like 8 or 9 people, maybe
Oh
more.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And then of course the Hellhound mines, like it's pretty trippy too. The story behind it, it's about if you like dogs, don't read it. They killed dogs. They chained them up for protection, but then when they abandoned the mines, they left the dogs.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Anyway, but yeah, that was good to have Dan on. Hadn't talked to him in a while and hadn't seen him in a while, so I was like, you know
it
what?
was a nice little surprise.
Get him on here.
Been a good week so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Guys, I think that's going to do it for our show tonight. And if you enjoyed this, we'll probably do something more like this down the road because it's fun to just kind of hang back and just talk about a few things now and then, and not really have a.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, next week we're gonna have an interesting. We're gonna have a pretty interesting topic. Mainly because, oh wow, there's some good games on right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Saints are beating the Panthers 20-17 with 1 minute and 15 left, and then the Steelers are beating the Browns with a whole third. They're in the third quarter.
Yeah.
There's
Browns
some good
are
games
all
on right
right.
now. Yeah, they are.
All right.
Um,
But anyway, like we'll be talking. You want to tell them what we're doing next week?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about some paranormal, more paranormal stuff because I've got 2 investigations next weekend. I've got, I think I can say it. I'm not sure, but I'm going to say it anyways. Why not? I'm going to he hasn't told me I can't say it, so I'm going to the Arkansas Tuberculosis Sanatorium Friday night for the 22nd, and then the 23rd, I'm going to go to the
Ray County.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Ray County Museum in Richmond, Missouri, with Haunted Soul Society. They're putting on a event out there, and I'm gonna go out there and support them and help them and stuff. And I'm bringing Mitch along, one of my roommates.
Hell yeah!
I can't wait to see his experience if he has anything. But obviously, I'm looking forward to the Tuberculosis Sanatorium. It's a 5-hour drive.
It's worth it.
I'm gonna be. I'm sure it's worth it. I'm just gonna be very tired.
That's what I was gonna say because I'm sure you're gonna be going up at least.
I'm gonna probably
3 or 4
leave
flights
at
there.
midnight. Yeah, I'm and all the driving, all the driving.
You get your workout in.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll probably be staying there till midnight. Which, if it starts at 7, that's a good 5 hours. If I leave at midnight, it's about a 50-minute drive back to the hotel. So that's about 1 a.m. ish. When I get back, just crash, whatever. Leave at probably 10:30 ish. Get on the road, which that'll be about 4 hours in something travel time from Fort. What is it? Fort something. Fort Smith.
Fort
No.
Smith. Yeah, Fort
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then that'll be it for my paranormal. Sorry. That'll be it for my paranormal adventures until we come back, or until
The mystery tour.
Midwest Mystery Tour. Yeah, unless something else comes up, if Koopsik has anything in the works, or somebody else asks me to come help with anything. But my October is pretty open, especially the 16th. Like starting the 16th and really on, I'll be available to do a lot of stuff until we go on our mystery tour. But
And that's when mine picks up. Is right there on the 16th. So that's
yeah,
awesome.
so I'm very excited.
And I just had 2 investigations this past week. One of them I'm not really saying anything about because we filmed it with KY3 NBC. And then before that, I was at Garnett House investigating on this past Tuesday. So next week, we're going to talk about Charles's adventures, and then and as well as what I've got to experience. You guys heard some of it with what happened at Garnett. But yeah, we'll be talking about some of these events that we are doing. And then yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Maybe
Cassie.
Maybe I'll get to show you some evidence.
Cassie's gonna have a fantastic weekend too.
Have the list in Howling?
Yeah, well, and some haunted hotel.
Is this haunted hotel in Leavenworth, Cassie?
Bart, just when? That's the question. When? And because of certain things right now, funds are a little tight.
Yeah, and of course time is an issue.
Ottumwa, Iowa.
Oh, Ottumwa. It's not Ottumwa.
Ottumwa.
You're gonna snort laugh. I bet you snort.
That
laugh.
was good. Ottumwa.
It's not Ottumwa.
That's perfect.
Man.
Well, here's to the next week's adventures. Leavenworth? That's Old Catholic School.
I think we were going to stay there. We were going to stay there for the Leavenworth, after the Leavenworth thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they have some event or something going on. So now we're staying at another hotel. It's where
Wait, you're talking about like our stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We've got a
Radar
hotel.
O'Reilly is from. I don't know who that is.
No idea. Bart, you're old.
Ouch.
He's like, fuck you, David. Fuck you.
I mean, I will say I've always wanted to take a train up to Chicago, so if I ever did that, I would definitely take a train up there.
I was trying to set up an event for Illinois guys. Radar.
Nash.
Okay.
Nice.
I was actually trying to set up an event for Illinois, but every place that I tried fell through. So maybe next year we'll include Illinois on the Midwest Mystery Tour. If all goes well this tour, I mean, it might expand. Hopefully everybody loves the events. Yeah. So we'll just have to play it by ear at this moment.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a great time. We just gotta get a little bit more tickets sold for Ohio and for Malvern and for a couple other places. And I mean, shoot, we got a whole another month, honestly. So
yeah,
we'll be fine, guys. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this tour. And this has kind of been a big dream for me, that I can just travel and go do this. Like, yeah, yes, we're putting on events for other people, but still the ability that we're able to go do this, I'm very excited for. So it's going to be a great time.
It's going to be bitching.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously tune in next week, Monday, 8 o'clock, same place, same time. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Grizzly, thanks for joining up with us. I hope you come back and see us again.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody have a good night, though. Thanks for being here.
Bye.